What's up, guys? Welcome back to the pod. Today, we've been blessed as Spider-Man fans. We got another Spider-Man movie. This was a long time coming. We have a lot of thoughts about this. We're excited to talk about it. Mike, tell us how you feel.
Adam. Dude, I'm pumped for this movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
This is completely through. It is through my Spider-Man ranking through a tizzy.
Well, according to the comments on our Instagram, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. No, they're still gonna be mad at me because Sam Raimi, awful movies.
He's doubling down.
I will forever double down. Those aren't good movies. They are.
Interesting take.
The amount of people I've seen refer to them as masterpieces, I have to know how much is Sony paying you. And if
Masterpiece
I lie as
is definitely crazy. I'll agree with that. But I like that you're doubling down with the 8.
No, because here's the thing. Like, I can understand the nostalgia addicts, and they like the nostalgia feeling. That's the same reason why I love Andrew Garfield's
But they
Spider-Man
wouldn't
so
call that a
much.
masterpiece.
No. I legitimately, dude, I can't get the sticker off. I'm trying to put a nerd out sticker on my cover.
The christening of the Notebook.
Okay, I got it. Okay, we're good. It's going on. No, here's the thing. I can
Link in bio, by the way.
admit.
Just kidding. They're only for us.
I
First
was gonna
edition.
say, link in bio, bro. What?
No, we only have 3 people that watch, but they can have stickers.
That's fair. Yeah, send us your address. We'll send
DM
you
us for a
stickers.
sticker.
No, but seriously, like I know all of the faults with TASM and TASM 2. I'm aware of the faults. I know that there's a lot of parts that people would just say objectively they're not good movies because of these reasons.
But I don't.
And I know I ignore a lot of those parts because
I
of
don't
the
know,
fact that
man.
I love.
There's things that aren't perfect about those movies, but they're overall great Spider-Man movies.
I agree with you too, but there's things that people in particular really dislike about those movies, and I can even understand, and I could be like, you know what, I can see that. But a lot of those things I do. Can this stop moving? I do ignore a lot because of the fact that I like Andrew Garfield so much, and I think that in the movie as a whole, it's just a really good movie.
Yeah.
With Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, I don't get how anyone can refer to that movie as anything other than garbage.
Okay,
That's my take.
you know how I feel about the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, especially the
Mhm.
first one.
Yep.
And it is objectively that they're bad movies. But to play devil's advocate here, because you said you know how anyone could look at anything from those movies and say that they're
You're right.
masterpieces.
You're right.
I do think, especially like all the villains are done so well. Maybe not Venom the best, but
I will agree with that.
Willem Dafoe's performance was a masterpiece. His monologue was a masterpiece. Even his costume was amazing. And then Doc Ock, I forget the actor's name, but he's a brilliant actor. He killed it as well. So there are things that I would say like it's got masterpiece potential, but unfortunately the script and I love Toby, but we've talked about it on the past pod before, whatever. But I think there are parts to it that are great.
Yeah.
Objectively, though,
great,
it is not a masterpiece.
Yeah, great is a very strong word, but there are good parts of it. I will agree.
Yeah.
Mainly being, I like Flint Marko, Sandman. I think they do him
Oh yeah,
well.
he was great too.
I like Dr. Octavius, Doc Ock. I think they do him well. Norman Osborn, as the Green Goblin. I think they do him well. I even think,
but you got to do Spider-Man well in a Spider-Man movie.
I agree. 100%. And there's a lot of stuff that we could go into another rabbit hole on that. I just needed to touch on that because I felt like it was important. But anyways,
That's fair.
let's jump into Brand New Day. We've both seen it. We both have thoughts. I think more so than Adam.
Yeah,
Before
I
we
think I
do
need to
our-
watch it again.
I think you do too.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you're not as stoked about this movie as I am is really making me upset.
Dude, we forgot a fit check.
Oh,
We
fit
got to do that
check.
real quick.
All right, we'll do the fit check and then we'll jump into it. As always, I'm sporting the jersey. I
Jersey
don't have
Mike.
anything super good for the theme of Spider-Man, so I decided to go with my newest and current favorite jersey because I'm a Disney guy. We got
Winnie the
100 Acre
Pooh.
Woods. Yes, sir.
Got the
got the-
Pooh jersey.
Pooh Bear. We got the Pooh Bear fit. You know how it'd be.
Heck yeah,
Rocking
that's
the Pooh
fire.
stuff. Yeah, what are we wearing today, Adam?
All right, so I got, just in spirit of Spider-Man, unfortunately they didn't go this route in this movie, but this is my favorite Spider-Man suit, the symbiote Spider-Man suit, and this was made out of a tapestry. that was turned into a hoodie.
That's sick. That's really nice.
I mean, there's no suit I think in comic book history, maybe a few, maybe like Spawn or whatever, but has as much aura or as much, what's the word? Like, the respect you have to give the black suit and the stance and the power. It's great.
That's fair. That's fair.
So,
I respect it.
This is my favorite. It's very, very warm, and I'm sweating so much, but it's worth it because it's a Spider-Man episode.
Wearing a sweater in Florida. Anyways, let's jump right into it. Let's not wait any longer. Let's give our rankings out of 5. As y'all know, we do out of 5 stars here, Letterboxd scoring, because we don't play around. Now I'm gonna pull up my Letterboxd because I can't remember exactly what I gave it.
I'm gonna pull up my Letterboxd. I usually let when I watch a movie, I usually let it sit for like a day to make sure I'm giving it a good rating.
I did not rate this movie until the second time I watched it.
See, like that's a good move. I'm trying to remember if I rated it or not. If not, I have one in my head. I didn't rate it. Here, I'm gonna do it. Oh, I did rate it. Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep, I'm gonna show it too.
We're gonna pull the ratings in 3, 2, 1. I hit it with a 4-star. And
4-star, baby.
Hey, we actually tied a rating. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've done that before.
I mean, yeah, but for dramatic effect, I pretended like we haven't.
Dude.
Yo, dude.
Oh.
Yo.
It took me so long to set this up in a way I liked it too. Every time, dude.
That's upsetting.
Every time. I was going.
That's so funny. So, as always, there's going to be spoilers. All right, I'm going to let you deal with that. As always, there's going to be spoilers.
Dude, I tried to stand up, and I stepped on my headphone cord, and I just like, I just yanked myself down.
Nice. All right, you got this, Adam. I believe in you.
Yep. Hold for technical difficulty.
Yeah, hold. Okay.
This is good, right? Should we do it like this?
You're a little crooked.
All right.
Bro, we got to get you like a stand.
Dude, I had it until I smacked my desk. It's all right. Well, okay. All of this will be fixed by next episode because there we go. Hold on.
You got this. I believe in you.
All right, we're gonna take a pause for. Well, I'm just gonna shift this way.
Are you good, Adam?
This is fine.
Are you ready?
Yeah, this is my new frame now. I like it actually.
Okay, cool.
I like my new frame. All of this will be fixed next episode because I'll have my different setup and I won't be on what it's on now. It's very janky setup. I'm still mid move, as you could tell by the box. So
he decided to start his move and then take a week-long trip to Hawaii. So
yep,
put a little bit of a halt in our production process. But anyways, let's jump into.
You said
thoughts.
Let's jump into it like 4 times.
I know because
we're some jumpy guys.
I understand that, but we keep. I feel like we keep getting sidetracked.
Bro, let's just keep jumping.
Let's get into it. As
let's
always,
dive into it.
Spoilers.
Let's
dive into it. I like that. Let's dive. There's going to be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's your fault. It came out like a month ago. Initial thoughts. I mean, what do you think? You're the one that's. I felt like had more hesitation. I felt like you weren't excited.
Yes. Okay. 4 stars is obviously. I mean, that's a very high rating. I loved the movie. I love Spider-Man, and I was happy to see Spider-Man on the big screen. My initial thoughts in a positive light, I thought this actually looked like a movie. I thought it was great. I do really like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but all of his movies are very heavy CGI. The suit obviously isn't super real in most of the scenes, and I feel like you can feel that as a viewer. So I appreciated seeing not only a real suit and just everything more grounded, a very comic accurate suit, and I think they did that just for the fans. I think they gave us the cool version and then brought it back in a good taste. So I thought all of those things were amazing. I do think the reason my hesitation is there is I think this movie is being talked about like it is one of the best movies ever made, and I don't know if I would agree with that. I don't know if I would even put it up there as in my top 5 favorite MCU movies, but I did love the movie. Yeah,
that's interesting. Okay,
but I did love the movie.
Okay, interesting. I I think this was the most Spider-Man Tom Holland movie we've gotten. What I mean by that is I think this felt
It's a
like
fair
the
take.
most. This movie felt the most like an actual Spider-Man movie. Not only of Tom Holland, but I'm gonna say this felt the most like a solo. Like this is about this character in
Mhm.
recent MCU history. I feel like we've fallen into a very bad cycle recently of MCU films where the solo films don't feel like solo films at all. They feel like ensemble pieces. That doesn't mean that they're bad, but like I'll use Captain America Civil War as a good example, where that feels way more like an Avengers movie than a Captain America movie.
Yes, but it was an
Um,
amazing movie.
it was an amazing movie. That's like top 5 MCU for me. I love that movie. But
Yeah, me too.
that's just I'm using that as a for instance. I think that this feels like a Spider-Man movie. I feel like every single character was put in there to amplify Spider-Man
Mm.
and not take away from him. And they all did their purpose and then they all scattered. But yeah, no, I thought it was a great movie. I think it's definitely top 5 MCU for me right now. I think this movie is what I wish Tobey Maguire movies were. Like I wish they did the original 3 movies similar to this.
in what
with
in
Tobey
what in what
Maguire.
in what light? In what sense?
Well, there's the obvious of it being good.
Oh my god.
And I know. So here's really what it was. I think it did a good job of showing a fully developed Spider-Man. Even though he obviously went through a lot of development in this movie,
Yeah.
it showed him he's been in the streets. He's been fighting crime for the past 3 to 4 years. He's been full-time Spidey. He has
Yeah.
no life outside of that. And we see that start to impact him. I feel like they did that in, what was that? Was that Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire? Where he went through that like existential crisis and he stopped being able to use his powers because of the same reason of he was disconnecting like from himself and from Peter Parker.
Yeah.
If they focused more on that from the first movie and built upon that for 3 movies, I would have been so much more invested in Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. But the fact that they tried to start it with him as like a senior in high school and move from there, I wasn't interested. I didn't care. I know
Well,
I'm a
I
D1.
think all right, to defend them one more time. That was the first we've talked about this before. That was the first Spider-Man movie that generation has gotten in a long time. Like that was the first movie
Sure.
fans have gotten since it really was the first Spider-Man movie that people know or talk about. So why not start it when he's young and start with the origin story? Why would you immediately start with like a midlife crisis? Because that's basically what, or like a kind of like power level, like a power level up. That's basically what we got in this movie. Why start there?
Sure.
So I get why they started there. I do think that, I don't know. I don't think Tobey Maguire looked like a high schooler. I'll agree with you on that. That I wasn't in it, but I don't think they should have started anywhere but him in high school.
Let me slightly amend what I said. I get why they did it. I would have rather them not make the movies at all than start there.
Wow.
I gotta keep it.
This
simple.
episode, there's
Like,
so much hate to those movies.
Have you?
You're
heard the
making
rumors
me
about
look like I like them, and I don't think they're good movies, but I'm defending them because you're being so harsh.
I don't care. I'll hate those movies till I die. Have you
Wow.
ever until somebody gives me like an actual good reason as to why they're good movies, I will hate on those movies. Like even in our lists, we posted lists on TikTok and YouTube and all that, and everyone was like, "Is this rage bait?" Not a single person defended why my list was bad. Not a
That's
single
true.
person
They did
said,
call it rage bait. It was not rage bait. Well, I guess
Yeah.
I guess people raged at it, but it was not bait.
Yeah, it was not
very
bait.
valid.
No, throughout the entire list, not a single person on any platform defended it with an actual argument. They just asked if it was rage bait and said it was a bad list. They couldn't explain why, but they said it was.
Tell him, Mike.
I heard a rumor that so when we were watching the Avengers Doomsday trailer, you see the clip where they're painting over New York City. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So in that clip, I don't know what people saw, but people are rumoring that that's Tobey Maguire's universe.
And it's destroyed.
That's his New York. And that the X-Men, the Fox movie X-Men, that, you know, like the original movies, they caused an incursion and they basically sacrificed Toby's universe to save their own.
Interesting.
I hope so much that that's what happened.
Well, then Toby comes over to 616?
No, and they kill him.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want that Peter Parker ever to exist.
So much hate coursing through your veins right now.
I'm sorry.
All right, what about No Way Home? I liked him a lot in No Way Home.
Oh, he was great. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he was great. But anyways, let's get back to Brand New Day because that's what we're talking about today.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in. We're not jumping. We're diving in.
Back to Brand New Day. Yes.
So first thing I want to talk about.
Oh, you froze.
Obviously, the big, drop in the movie was Jean Grey being announced.
Lost you for a second.
In the movie. So yeah, a couple things I want to talk about. Let's jump into the first one. Dive into the first one. Jean Grey, her being put into the movie, and I guess everything that surrounds that, and now the X-Men being a part of the MCU. What do we think?
Okay, so I don't know about you, but when Jean Grey's name popped up on the cell phone, everyone in the theater freaked out. It was great. It was a really cool moment. I really enjoyed it. Here's the thing. I think I really enjoyed trying to figure out who this villain could be. I really liked the build-up. They did a good job with the setup, and they did it. My personal opinion is they ended up spending too much time with Jean Grey in the movie, if that makes sense. I think the whole second half of the movie, we already know Jean Grey's the villain, and now we're kind of following her in the end of the movie. I know we're trying to set up her character and everything, but for me, what you were saying about making it a Spider-Man movie, it was definitely a Spider-Man movie in the first half, and then when we got into the Jean Grey, I felt like parts of it we were watching a Jean Grey movie. And
interesting.
I don't know if I hated that because I enjoyed, learning about her character, but it definitely took me out of the Spider-Man aspect of it a little bit.
That's an interesting take. I do think I disagree with you slightly. Yeah, I think that they did a really good job bringing her in when they did. I do wish they did it maybe a little later in the movie. It was also a little predictable at times. Like the second Peter went to go pick up MJ, I knew that she was mind controlled. That wasn't obvious.
Really? I didn't know the second he saw her, but I knew the second it started going in the direction it was going in.
No, I knew the second he saw her, and then it was further solidified when he was swinging through the city and she wasn't freaking out.
Oh yeah, because she was freaking out at the end of
Far From Home.
Far From Home, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's I think it's the very end of Far From Home, and then I think they show it again at the beginning of No Way Home. They are swinging through the city, and she's losing her mind and clenching onto him. And when she was calm and chill and just holding on to him, I was like, yeah, that solidified it. Like I knew, but that solidified it.
That's not someone who's in any type of fear about their safety. Yeah,
I was like, that's not MJ. I just know for a fact it's not.
That's a good eye on that because I thought about it after the fact, but I didn't see it in the moment.
No, I actually specifically saw this movie the first time by myself. Second time I saw it with my fiance, but the first time I was like, I need to be dialed in. I cannot answer questions the first time I see this. I need a lock. That's why in December when Doomsday comes out, I'm seeing it on the 19th with my whole family, Adam included.
Yep,
on
I'll
the
be
18th. On the 18th, I am seeing it by myself
in
a theater.
If I'm in town, let me try to do that with you.
I'll go. Yeah, I'll see it with you. I'll see it with you because I know you and I have the same mindset. Like we got.
I'm gonna ask him 1,000 questions, guys.
I will, bro. I'll lose my mind. You're gonna see a video of us online fighting in the theater.
Comment a question that you want me to ask, and every comment we get, I will ask during the movie.
I'll lose my. I swear to God, I'll lose my mind. But
yeah, no, but that's a smart way to watch the movie.
Yeah, it just lets me kind of focus in on what's going on. I also am really big on listening to the crowd and listening to how people are reacting. I love that.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So that happened, and I was like, oh yeah, I know for a fact that they're being mind controlled. I do wish that they waited a little longer to reveal who Jean Grey was.
You think so? I thought if they waited longer, because everyone already kind of speculated it was her anyways.
That's fair. I could tell. The second Peter saw her through the car, and I
Mhm.
saw how they made Sadie Sink look. Obviously, we knew it was Sadie Sink. That wasn't a secret.
Right.
The second I saw how they made her look and just her vibe and aesthetics, I was like, I think that's Jean Grey. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was almost positive. Um, which excited me. I was really pumped about it. I'm a big X-Men fan. Um, like my second and third favorite characters are both from the X-Men universe.
Oh wow.
So I'm big X-Men fan. I'm in the middle of making one of those characters as a cosplay right now for whenever we go to our next con.
Heck
So,
yeah.
yeah, I'm really big on X-Men. But I think that it just in general it was a good movie, and I think Jean Grey being in it was a really healthy and not forced way to bridge the gap between MCU as we know it and the introduction of these
And with the
new
X-Men.
characters. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just because now seems like a good time to bridge over, and then we'll come back to Spider-Man. But
Mhm.
a couple things. One,
Sure.
them doing a new X-Men, I think, is a great idea because obviously the old X-Men were cast very well, and everybody they kind of had their run. But obviously, you have to do something new with the MCU, and I'm glad they're doing it. So, what do you think about Jean Grey or Sadie Sink's performance in Spider-Man: Brand New Day being kind of the forefront or the forerunner of the new X-Men? What do you think about what they did with her character, and what does that say about how you feel they're gonna do the new X-Men movie?
I think it was one of the smartest things the MCU has done in recent years, and here's why. The whole basis of the X-Men, in my opinion, and I am not a big comic reader, I have to get more into them. But I feel
Comics
like
are fun
really
to read, by the way.
yeah, I feel like they're really trying to set up the X-Men as like these weirdos that are being hunted. And they want to find every reason they can to hate the mutants so that they can fund like the Sentinel program.
Yeah.
And what's the other program where they try and use like Wolverine as a weapon? I forget the name of it. But
I forget.
you know,
That was in the
you know what I'm
Logan.
talking about.
Yeah. I just recently rewatched Logan. And that was...
Yeah. So like stuff like that though, that's the goal of the MCU right now. In my opinion, they have to be thinking, how do we make them seem like the bad guy to humans,
Yeah.
but the viewers, the consumers, see them as the good guys. And I
Well,
think they did it in a really good way.
I don't know. I think Jean Grey pretty much came off as a bad guy in this movie. Like a very bad, like, yeah, she's young and she's hurt and she had her story, but she also killed an old man and possessed Peter's girlfriend and then kissed him and then threw her off a building.
She didn't kill an old man. What is happening?
She did kill an old man.
No, she did not.
She did kill an old man. The old man, she like possessed him in the street and then
in front of the cab.
And then he walked in front of the cab. And I know.
There's
Okay, hold on.
There's no proof that he's dead. Sorry.
You okay? Is it
Yeah,
Amber
there's
Alert?
Tornado. Well, good thing I'm in a basement, so we're good. Anyways, there is no proof that guy died.
Tornado comes through the house on the pod.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. There's no proof that
yes,
guy
there's no
died,
proof that he dies.
all.
But let me explain this. My thought on this, because the writers are saying, like, they're already making statements saying that she did not kill an old man because they think they wrote themselves into a hole because they don't want to start her as a murderer. Here's the thing. One, lean into it because that's what everybody loves. People love, everyone I talk to, they love that you start Jean Grey here. You start her and she's going to become so bad, right? Because Jean Grey, that's always kind of been her dynamic, at least on screen. Two, it doesn't matter.
With, like the Dark Phoenix.
It doesn't matter if by some miracle that old man survived that crazy car hit. She attempted. She tried. She wasn't like, oh,
crazy.
He'll live.
It's not that crazy. It's not. It was like a little. It was like a love.
But
tap.
But he's an old man, and he got hit by a car, and he went over the hood. He was on top of the hood, or on top of the car.
Obviously, he wasn't that old though, because he was a construction worker. So how can you be like? You can't be an old, brittle old man if you're working construction in New York City.
Valid point, but still, she walked an innocent bystander into oncoming traffic. It doesn't matter if he survived. Her intention was not a good intention.
She had to send a message.
She did not have to send it that message.
Obviously she did.
Also, she chucked MJ off of a building.
Well, she knew Peter was going to save her.
But I still think that's not an act of. That's not a. I don't know how redeemable she can.
Here's how I look at that though. Almost everything she did was reversible and wasn't like she didn't intentionally kill that man, right? Like she's sending a message to Peter to let him know.
She intentionally threw him into traffic or walked him into traffic.
Okay, yes, but she didn't do it like she did it to send a message that she can control whoever she wants whenever she wants. So like get out of her way.
He already knew that.
Yeah, but that solidified it.
Okay, yes, it did, and it was cool for a villain because she's a villain. I think they're gonna try to like redeem her.
I need you to stop talking about Jean Grey like that. They already did redeem her when they were talking about how the people at the Department of what's the dude's name? Director. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, but you know who I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah.
They already redeemed her when they showed that this dude stole her sister from her.
Okay, just because
her.
Just because they said that something bad happened to her family member, like that sucks. That's a tragedy. That doesn't redeem anyone's actions against innocent people.
Listen,
against them, sure.
Puppy, so
against,
I don't care.
I know. Is that like the new thing where people are like, if you don't kill a puppy, you're a good guy? And if you, is that the new thing in cinema where we have to kill puppies?
The puppy theory. Yeah, it's to kick the puppy theory. I think we talked about this when we went into the
in the Odyssey though they kill a puppy and they make us love that character that killed the puppy. I don't know how they did that. It was pretty cool because it was just such a throwaway. No, not Robert Pattinson. What's the character's name? Argus is the one taking care of Argus while Odysseus is out. It'll come to me. The blind guy. He's in Chef.
Kill a puppy?
Yeah, he did.
Because that's a mercy kill. That's not like What? Hold up. There's a tornado in my backyard.
Dude, crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, jumping back into where we were. Jean Grey's the GOAT. She's not a bad villain at all.
I mean, yeah. I guess she did a lot of bad things. Whatever, they're gonna redeem her. By the end of this movie, in my eyes, she wasn't redeemed. So we'll see if they do anything else to redeem her. I think that was their goal, was to redeem her character at the end. But just because something really bad happened to her sister doesn't mean that it's okay to do the thing she did.
I think they showed some slight redemption in the fact that, or rather, that she has the capacity for like empathy. By the fact that, one, she literally breathed for Peter Parker and kept him alive in the hospital.
That was cool. That was cool. That was a redeeming thing. Yeah.
And then the second thing,
but I think she owed him that.
The second thing, and this is something we're gonna get into. I think we honestly let's open up the can of worms now. Do you think at the very end of the movie, when Peter Parker walks up to Ned and he says, "I'm Peter," and they do the handshake, what do you think that is?
Are you saying that you think it's Jean Grey?
I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, because that was the conversation we were having. So go ahead and say your piece. I'll tell you what I think that is.
I think that Jean Grey altered Ned and MJ's memories to remember.
Intentionally? You think she intentionally did that?
I don't think it was intentional. No.
Okay. But we're talking about redeeming her as a character, so she accidentally did it.
Maybe there was some intentionality, but when they're frozen in that, kilometer wide radius, and she is inside of Peter's head, and she's inside of everyone else's head, and we see that one shot of MJ and the single tears coming down her face. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I've heard all the speculation on the internet.
Cinema.
It's great. I think her memories very well may have come back. I don't know how many more Spider-Man projects we're gonna get. So
I think we'll get at least 2 more.
Her memories came back just in time for her to die in the next movie.
I don't know if I agree with them just retconning the spell and being like, oh well, now Ned and MJ know.
Yeah.
all is well with the world.
Okay.
But
Well,
what I align with is that maybe their memories were altered by her, so they vaguely remember, or like even something. And this is something I thought, but I haven't actually vocalized this in conversation, so this might sound kind of cuckoo banana nuts. But basically, the thought of when she's in Peter's mind, she sees the memories he has with Ned and with MJ, and almost like transfers that to them, so they may
okay.
not remember it still. It's almost like that feeling of deja vu. So the reason why Ned knows the handshake is because of this weird sense of deja vu that almost overtakes him when Peter's in front of him and he sees that, like, does that make sense?
It does. That actually makes a lot of sense, and I definitely think that the tear was an intentional thing they put. Like that was there was a meaning behind that tear. No one else we
Sure.
saw in that kilometer wide spell or whatever it was crying. So it was definitely it was an intentional thing they did. I think that something was severed. Right. The same thing with Hulk turns into Savage Hulk is whatever
Yeah.
Bruce Banner did with Hulk to make them into Professor Hulk, that got undone by Jean Grey's thing. I think the same thing could have happened with the spell, Doctor Strange's spell. However, I don't know if it's going to be that easy for MJ. One thing that I think is involved, and they did on purpose, is we're forgetting Ned's magic, right? They didn't touch on it.
I was gonna say that's another thing.
They didn't touch on it at all, and I wonder if they're. I wonder if Ned remembers that he's magic because he didn't talk about it at all in this movie, and he learned through Doctor Strange, but he still knows who Doctor Strange is. So it's weird to me that they didn't touch on him with like a sling ring or anything. He was magic in No Way Home. But remember, in No Way Home, they do that handshake, and Ned's wearing a ring. They do that handshake, and there was a spark at the end of the handshake. Like when they finished the handshake, there was like a magic spark. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
It happened. You can look it up.
I believe you.
Go back and watch it.
I just don't remember it.
So I think whatever that was helped Ned remember or break Doctor Strange's spell.
Sure, that would make sense.
And I think them doing the handshake again was an intentional choice. So I think it might be a little harder for MJ. I'm curious to see what they do with Ned's magic. They set it up for a reason. I don't know why they didn't touch on it in this movie. But maybe that's it.
I saw something that's an interesting take, and I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think I agree with it, but it's just a thought. So they want to make Ned Hobgoblin. Excuse me.
You think they want to? Ned Leeds is the name of Hobgoblin in the comics.
Sure. Yeah, but and again, I don't know if this is true or not. This is what the video I saw said. But essentially, they want to introduce Hobgoblin for Spider-Man. The way they do that is they have Spider-Man, and they somehow, whether it be through Secret War, because correct me if I'm wrong, in the Secret War comics, doesn't Spider-Man have the symbiote?
Yes, he does. Secret War.
So somewhere around then, they introduce the symbiote, which obviously makes Peter Parker as a person a lot more aggressive and hostile. And you see him go at Ned a lot. And at this point, we have somewhat of a relationship between Ned, MJ, and Spider-Man, where Ned is his guy in the chair again, and he's helping him. And we know that Ned is very technologically savvy, not just from the first 3 movies, but also Brand New Day. He develops this whole app that tracks Spider-Man. And he even goes into detail about how his web shooter works, what his web fluid is made out of, stuff like that. So we know he's very smart. So then it goes into Ned's like, oh, well, I've been developing this technology, and Spider-Man or Peter keeps going and going and going off on off on Ned over and over and over again. And Ned's like, okay, screw this. I'm going to go out in the field myself. And then that's when they're going to have some sort of rivalry between the two of them.
But you don't think it's going to... I don't think it's going to be like Nemesis type of level if they do that.
I don't know.
Also, Hobgoblin's not magic, so at least not that I know.
And that's why I don't know, because I would really hate for them to introduce the idea of Ned being a sorcerer and then completely retconning that and throwing it out the window because of the spell.
Well,
But
one thing Marvel has always done is set up a lot of things that they don't decide to go on.
that's fair.
And we could
That's
do
very
we
fair.
could do a whole separate video on all the setups that we've been just
No,
set up for nothing.
we were so excited for. And
Do you
then
remember?
Disney
Do you remember at the
slash
end
Marvel
of
was just like,
She-Hulk, which by the way, terrible show. Don't watch it if you haven't. I don't recommend
I
it.
don't. I don't want to talk about the ending of She-Hulk at all.
But the end of She-Hulk, they introduced Hulk's son. Did they forget about him?
Yeah, they did. They introduced him, and they also had that stupid bit where she like broke the third wall and went into the studio. That was just dumb. That whole show
It
was
was dumb. Yeah.
Did you see? There's.
Did you say
people
break
I've
the third
seen-
wall?
Yeah, I did say break the third wall. Break the fourth wall. You know what I'm saying.
I knew what you were saying. I was picking up what you were putting down.
I've seen videos of people saying She-Hulk is on the same level as Endgame.
What?
Yeah, that's a real thing. I'll send you the clip.
If I had water in my mouth, that'd be a spit take. I don't. I'm not even going to entertain that argument.
Yeah, it's a bad take.
Okay, well, we'll take that bad take, and here's what we'll do. We're going to jump again back into brand new day.
Dive.
Yeah, let's dive. We're diving and jumping.
Um,
I want to talk to you
what-
about Hulk, Savage Hulk.
Okay. Yeah.
Or do you have a
That's what I was gonna go into. I was gonna go
Okay,
into
cool.
Hulk. Yeah.
Cool.
That was funny timing. Yeah, I love how they did it. So I really like the introduction. I like that they had Punisher and they had Hulk, but they didn't do it in a way that took focus away from Peter Parker. I think that super excited to see Savage Hulk again. That was great.
I know, this is all we wanted as fans.
That was amazing. The second he started transforming, and I knew it was coming in the theater, like I knew it was going to happen from the trailers, but literally in the theater, you should have seen the way I was in between this girl and she was sitting next to her boyfriend or fiance, husband, or whatever, and this dude who was sitting with his friends. The way we all went as he started transforming because we were all so hyped.
We all
bro.
knew, yeah.
It was just so good.
I missed the
And-
transformations. I missed the rage. I missed
Yes.
just the
And just how cool it is. Like when Peter's webbing him up in the hallway, like that corridor, and he does that thunderclap.
Yes,
That's so sick.
The thunderclap was such the best
That's
fan
so
service
cool.
Marvel has done in forever. The
It's
thunder,
just-
like,
it was
it's straight from the
it was
comics.
so
They straight
cool.
from the first Hulk movie. We wanted the thunderclap. We got it. Let's
Yes.
go.
And not only that, but the way that, I mean, obviously we know, pound for pound, Hulk is just stronger than Spider-Man. He's just a stronger character, right? But the way that they wrapped that up and the way that he beat him was just so. It made sense.
Yeah.
It was Spider-Man versus Hulk, where Spider-Man used his brains and his intuition and his instincts to attach the building to him to make it heavy and to make it harder for Hulk to fight him. And then even going so far as the part where he's like, hey, it's Peter, like, you know me, I'm your friend. And
Yeah.
having that moment of realization where Banner got control again, I like that a lot.
It's a cool
personally.
dynamic. That's what makes Hulk such a cool character, and we've missed it. Or I can't speak for everyone, but I think that most people agree with me when I say I've missed that. I think
Same.
them going into Professor Hulk was cool because Professor Hulk's in the comics, and I think they did it because Banner was always struggling with this dynamic he had with Hulk, and then it was a kind of place of closure for that character.
Yeah,
And they did. I think it would have been cool. Yeah, but I also think it would have been cool if after he did the snap in Endgame that did something and he was Savage Hulk again. That could have been a cool place to do it.
I do agree they left him as Savage Hulk for too long. I'm sorry, as Professor Hulk for too long.
We did get a lot of good Savage Hulk though.
We did.
We got it in
And
Ragnarok. We got it in
I was
Age
gonna
of
say,
Ultron.
Almost all of Ragnarok was Savage Hulk, so like
Which is
I
great.
can't complain about that. Where I was disappointed was obviously Infinity War. We didn't get Hulk at all. Like
Right.
we had Banner and then we had Hulkbuster, but we didn't have any rendition of Hulk. I think that's fine for one movie. Then we saw Professor Hulk in.
Well, we got him in the
it
beginning.
Endgame.
We got him in the beginning of it. He fought Thanos.
Oh, sure, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. But then we got Professor Hulk for Avengers Endgame, and we also got it for She-Hulk. That's fine. I like that.
I think that's why they left him as Professor Hulk. They kind of wanted him for She-Hulk.
I think so too. But then I think the way that they brought in the inhibitor, which that's another thing that I think was done really well in showing how Hulk made his inhibitor for him, or Banner made him his inhibitor to keep the gamma radiation, and then Peter Parker making a universal inhibitor right as we're introducing X-Men characters. That just chef's kiss. That was beautiful.
You think they're going to use that? You think it's a setup?
100%. 100%. We already saw them using it.
Yeah,
we saw
he
them
used
use
it,
their own version of it on Jean Grey when she was in the cell. But that, and then where was I going with that? Oh, but I think the transition of, even when we first saw him as Hulk, it wasn't Rage Hulk at first, which I really liked. I do really like how it was just at first her getting control of Banner, then taking off the inhibitor, and then him becoming Professor Hulk. I like that.
I like that we did that too, because you could see the difference. He got bigger.
Yes.
He got angrier. That was such a good move.
Dude, when he grew, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. I forgot how big Hulk was. But it was sick. I love how they did Hulk.
It was really cool. Yeah, in the comics, just on that point real quick, in the comics, one of my favorite Hulk comic covers is like Banner turning into Hulk, and it's like the different versions of him, and the opacity is lower, and you could kind of see him turn into
That's cool.
And I think that's kind of like the vibe of Banner, Professor Hulk, Hulk. It's like the evolution of Hulk. Yeah. So we kind of got to see that a little bit, which is cool. Me seeing the Hulk, obviously, everything I just said, I agree with you. It's awesome. I love that we have Savage Hulk. I'm excited to see him back. I hope, because Banner knows what to do now. I hope he doesn't just go right back to the lab and, meet Professor Hulk. I hope he can't do that. I hope we're kind of done with Professor Hulk.
I agree.
But one thing I wanted to ask you about that, it has to do with the Hulk, because we knew Savage Hulk was going to be in this movie. We knew here's the thing, in the trailer, all of the comic book covers that we got, all of the like Tombstone holding Spider-Man up and all of that, we saw about as much in the movie as we did in the trailer. With those, I thought we were going to get it was just a montage, which was cool. It was a little fan servicey, but everything in this movie was nothing. The only real surprise was Jean Grey, but we knew Sadie Sink was in the movie, and most people were anticipating Jean Grey. So everything in this movie, that's part of the reason that I didn't react the way a lot of other people did. One of my favorite things about Marvel movie is not knowing what I'm getting into. So I gotta stop watching these trailers. Like
same.
Because this trailer in particular, usually when you watch a trailer, you don't expect everything, but everything in this movie was in the trailer, except for Yelena. But let's be honest, that's not a big enough surprise to make up for everything else being in the trailer. Savage Hulk would have been a great surprise.
I agree. I wish that they showed less of the fight scenes. I think that we saw every major fight scene in the trailer.
I've heard that before, and it's true. Yeah.
I think we saw every single major fight scene. We saw, obviously, we saw all the clips from the montage. Tombstone, Scorpion, who else was there? Bullseye, the Hand when he's jumping off the roof and fighting the Hand. Not in the and then we saw the prison, him fighting the Hand in the prison. We even got that in one of the trailers.
We did.
So we got every single major fight scene. I also do wish that they kept it a little bit more of a secret that he was getting his organic webbing. I wish they kept it a little more, not even a secret, but just like,
I don't even hate that.
The plot. That was the plot, in my opinion.
I don't even hate that. I think they could have left it at that. You think people are not going to watch this movie? What are you trying to sell?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Hulk would have been a nice surprise. All the fights in the beginning would have been a nice surprise. I think they kind of, I don't want to say oversold. They just sold everything. Like we just watched the movie and it was a good movie, and I appreciate that. Sometimes it's nice to have little surprises sprinkled in there.
I agree. What did you think about the Punisher's involvement in the film?
Yeah, that's what I want to get to next. I loved it. I thought me and you have talked about this, and you hit the nail right on the head when you said that a serious character like Punisher works with someone like Spider-Man, because he kind of turns into like a comedic character. a lot of people on the internet are saying that's not my Punisher. That's not the same Punisher. I think
felt
it
like
is.
They did it wonderfully.
I think they did a great job, and I think
Yeah.
just because you lean into the comedy side of it, like that's a very superhero thing to do. You're
Yeah.
mixing two very different characters. I think if you don't lead into the comedy side of it, it's just like sad. It's just kind of a very serious movie, and they did a great job because when you have a character like that's what makes it funny. You have a
Yeah.
character that is so serious, but then you see him in the Spider-Man thing going, oh, like come on, it's
Yes.
awesome.
That to me is funny.
And also, I don't think it's necessarily a different character. I think like you got to remember, Frank Castle was a dad.
Oh.
Frank Castle is a family man. He's a guy that's capable of laughter and of smiling, and we see that a little bit. And people are mad at that. But why are we mad at that? Like Peter's a kid who is kind of, I don't know, maybe reminding Frank of his family, or maybe he's got a soft spot for Peter Parker, which by the way, in the comics is a thing, especially in Civil War. Actually, the shot of him walking into the hospital holding Spider-Man, a lot of people are comparing that to the shot or to the frame in the comics of Civil War when he does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he carries Spider-Man like that. But
I actually
Punisher
didn't
has
know that.
always had a soft spot for Spider-Man. They've always had that kind of relationship. So for all the people that don't like that they changed the Punisher, they didn't change the Punisher. It's just you're gonna have a different dynamic with a different character. We obviously haven't seen him with Spider-Man before. So and that dynamic was super entertaining to watch. It was hilarious.
Well, and even more so, like, and this goes back to my point of everyone they brought in. I feel like they did it in a way that elevated Spider-Man's character.
Yeah.
We saw Banner. His focal point of being in the movie was basically like there are certain things that are important and vital to evolution and to growing as a person. Like you sometimes you suppress things that you think are bad, but they're really good, and they're gonna be a
that was cool dialogue.
Yeah, and I think that's why they brought him in, and they showed that when Banner became Professor Hulk and then became the Rage Hulk. But I think the purpose for Punisher being in is, I mean, he says it when he's in the submarine or the boat. I'm sorry, not the submarine, the boat, when they're talking about why he wears a mask, and he's like, "Are you kidding me? Like you're gonna wear the mask while drinking coffee?" And Frank, he says something along the lines of like, I just know if I still had those that I loved around me, or if my loved ones are still here, I wouldn't be hiding myself, or something along those lines. And again, that shows you like you can't do it alone. You need to have people around you. And that's why he was there. He was there to show you what happens if you choose to shut yourself off and you choose to close yourself off from the world and shut down and let your hatred overcome you. And I think they did that in such a good and
as an inspiration for Spider-Man.
Yes,
which elevates Spider-Man. That's very well said. You're right. It elevates the character of Spider-Man. It's not about the Punisher, but yeah.
100%. And then furthermore, I'll even go into Jean Grey again, where we show the culmination of Spider-Man and everything he's gone through up until this point. I'm not gonna lie, this movie put Tom Holland probably a little above Andrew Garfield on my rating of Spider-Man. Yeah. And it was because the movie was done so well and Tom Holland's performance in it was just so good. But we see the culmination of it when Jean Grey is in Peter Parker's mind and they're talking, and she's talking to Aunt May and then she's talking to him, and he almost is coming to that realization with her of like they have each other, they're not alone. Which, by the way, insane shot right there, like from outer space. Whew. Anyways, R.I.P. my man Cyclops, right? But anyways, I digress. It just is done so well. They bring in Jean Grey to help him reach that final focal point of development and growth, to where he can not be like a mentor to her by any means, but kind of be like, she's supposed to be a lot younger than him. He at this point in Brand New Day would be in his like 21, 22-year-olds era.
Yeah, he'd be a little bit older, no?
Well, the way I look at it is if they went to college right after, they went to college right after Far From Home.
And they were in college.
After No Way Home, and then they graduate college. So he's 21, 22. And Jean Grey's supposed to be what, 16, 17?
Probably, yeah.
So
maybe even younger.
To me, that is showing him as the more mature. Grant, it's hard because Tom Holland and Sadie Sink look very similar in age as actors.
Yeah.
But to me, as someone who just likes movies and likes dissecting them on a little bit of a deeper level, I look at that as it's showing how much he's matured and progressed as not just himself, but as Spider-Man, and how he's figured out his way to navigate being somebody that's blessed with these powers while not abusing them, and while, like, I don't know,
Almost with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, dude. No, like, seriously, like,
Yeah, but that is the character's, that's his thing.
Yeah.
And they did, you're right, they did a really good job, and I really enjoy hearing your thoughts on it, because I don't know if I would have thought that on my own. But also on the Jean Grey side of that, Spider-Man for her is almost what Professor X was in the comics or in the early movies, which is kind of showing her a different way to view her powers, or a different way to view
100%. And I think that's what's going to push this now. I think in 2028 is when it's set to come out, but this new X-Men movie that's coming out, I think that's
we're
what's
getting
gonna push
a
her.
Charles Xavier, right? Or no?
Or we're getting a what? I'm sorry, you cut out for me.
Charles Xavier?
Yeah, that was cast Christopher Abbott.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, which that's another interesting thing. The Charles Xavier's real young. He's like in his 40s. So they're casting everyone really, really young. Because obviously we have Sadie Sink as Jean Grey.
Right.
And she is, I think the actor's 23 or 24.
Yeah, she's similar in age to us.
Indy Navarrete, she is Rogue, and she's same thing. She's like 22.
What do you think
23.
about that, by the way?
I'm excited for it. Here's
everyone's saying she'd be a better Mystique. I think I agree with that.
I think she's getting a little bit of unfair hate.
I don't hate it. There's no hate.
No. I'm not saying you're hating. I'm saying in general, I'm seeing a lot of hate from it online, and I think it's because she just got a big breakout role. And
I haven't actually
people
seen
just like
hate.
the hate. I've seen a lot on my
people
end.
do like
from
the
what
hate.
I've seen.
Really?
I think
so,
I think Indy
people
Navarrete's
do
gonna
like
be
to
fine.
hate. Here's what I think about it. It's not hate. I think she was cast because she's big right now,
but that's fair. But she's also
that's a lot.
insanely talented.
No, for sure. I think that's why a lot of people want to see her as Mystique. I think people just can't see her as a character that they know and love, Rogue. I don't know the character Rogue that well. I'm getting more into X-Men. I love a lot of the characters of X-Men, but I never read the X-Men comics. I always read Daredevil or Moon Knight or other stuff. But I just started watching X-Men 97, which we will talk about in a future episode. But I don't hate her as Rogue. I just and I also don't hate that she was cast because she's big right now. I think anyone that has a problem with that, like, look at the MCU. But but I do, from the iterations I've seen of Rogue, I think it's a different take, and that's okay. We need different takes. We don't want this.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let me ask you this: in recent history, can you think of, and this is a genuine question, can you think of somebody they cast as a Marvel character and you thought that was bad casting? Not put aside the character. Like,
they do have really good casting.
Like, there's characters where I'm like, that was an awful character. The actor or actress played them very well. That was a bad character. But, like,
that's a really good question.
That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, they have great casting. They always have. Yeah.
Even though there's been some Marvel projects that I've hated recently, like Ant-Man Quantumania, no doubt, one of the worst Marvel projects ever to be made. However,
I think it's one of the worst. I think it is probably the worst Marvel project and one of the worst projects ever made in history, like in cinema history. Not even cinema. We can't even say that word.
That's
in
fair.
The same
but let's
conversation.
dissect it a little more. Paul Rudd is fantastic as Ant-Man.
No, he's great.
He's great. The actress that plays the Wasp, she's also great.
Forget her name.
We got to get better at actors and actresses' names.
I have noticed. I have noticed I had to get better at it.
I do like the actress that they cast as his daughter, Cassie. I think she's great at the role. I think that
third time's a charm. No, I'm just kidding. She was great in all of them, but they're just all different versions of her.
Yeah, I think that the movie she was put in to start was awful. I'm excited to see her in Doomsday, but I think she was good at the role. I think she plays very well a daughter to Paul Rudd Scott Lang, where she's very kind of quirky and weird like him, but also like does have a little bit of that like social justice warrior type vibe to her.
Yeah.
And I like that. Like it plays very well. And like even the actor that played Kang, I think he played Kang
Jonathan
fantastic.
Majors.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
did a really good job as the role. I think he just was given a very bad movie to do it in. And honestly, I'm upset because I think he would have been a really good use of like a big bad villain.
Well,
to
I think
bring
they're
into the MCU.
I think they went a different route because he had like some controversy, and then
Did he really?
Yeah, because I think Doomsday was supposed to be Kang, and then they switched to, and I think they're just kind of getting rid of his character, because he
Really?
had, I don't remember what the controversy was, but he's pretty much canceled.
Okay.
It might have been cleared
Hey,
up, but at least for Marvel,
don't
he's
cancel me.
done.
Don't cancel me. I didn't know anything.
Whatever. I don't even know anything about it, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Marvel has always had really, really great casting. I'm not really questioning it. I'm just interested. I'm interested to see what's happening, because you know how I said in a previous episode, Marvel always keeps me on the line of like, did I lose faith in them?
Yeah.
You know they're slowly gaining my trust back.
That's good.
Yeah. I recently on the flight to Hawaii, I watched they had a bunch of Marvel movies, and I watched Avengers
Nice.
1 again.
So
I haven't seen it.
good.
I haven't
It's
seen it in
so
so
good, bro.
long, and
Isn't it such
really
a good movie though?
it's such a good movie, and it really reminded me of the bar that they set.
Yeah.
And
Truly.
yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about Marvel projects recently? Do you feel like they're gaining your trust a little bit back? The multiverse needs to go.
Absolutely.
It just needs to go. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
Doomsday is a multiverse movie.
I'm really excited for us to just get pushed through and get the Secret War. If I'm being honest,
That's
I think
also a
that'll-
multiverse movie, though.
I know, but I think that's going to be the end of the multiverse saga.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be the very end of it. So end of 27, I think is my most anticipation I've had over Marvel stuff recently. Is just get through 2027, and I think I'll be a lot more invested. Here's my biggest issue with the multiverse as of right now. If Marvel makes a project that flops, it's very easy to retcon it or to introduce something that retcons it. So whether they decide to fully just be like, oh, this never happened, or whether they decide to do something like bring Steve Rogers back, which I don't know how I feel about that yet. I honestly don't think I'll have a full opinion until I see the movie and decide for myself if it's done well. But I genuinely, I can't say for sure how I feel about the full multiverse saga until we're at the end of it. All I can say is as of right now.
It's fair.
Yeah, all I can say is as of right now, my favorite projects of recent are projects that I feel like don't really entirely touch on the multiverse aspect, like Brand New Day.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't touch on the multiverse saga at all, or the multiverse aspect of the universe. I really did enjoy Thunderbolts. That didn't really touch on the multiverse aspect.
Yeah, it's almost like the multiverse is what's been the problem, and Marvel knows it's the problem.
I think the only movie I enjoyed that, not even heavily.
Are you going to say
heavily
Deadpool and
focused-
Wolverine?
No, I forgot about that. That was a great movie too. The only movie other than Deadpool and Wolverine that I feel like had a focus on the multiversal stuff was Fantastic Four. I thought that was a really good movie.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No, I should.
It's so good. It's
Okay.
really good. It's probably
The new one, right?
I like the original Fantastic Four movie for the nostalgia aspect of it. Like I watched it as a kid. But I don't think they're the best movies. I just like them kind of similar to
I
why
like
people
them
like
for
the
nostalgia.
original
Yeah.
similar to why people like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. I like those Fantastic Four movies.
They have a good look. Like they look like the Fantastic Four.
Yes, 100%. However, I think that the new Fantastic Four, what's it called, Fantastic Four First Steps or whatever.
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job with it, and I think they did the multiversal stuff in good taste, and it made sense to me. it wasn't just doing it to do it. It was doing it to benefit the movie and the plot and it progressed the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I
I
I
think they're
also
trying to step away from it, but there's but
yeah,
like it could have been used well. I think
I
we
agree.
need to have stakes. Like why is RDJ coming back? Why is Steve Rogers coming back?
So
Why should we
I
care
have a
for
couple
we've been
theories.
watching these characters since 2008. Why should we care anymore what happens to them when nothing can happen to them? Why should we care?
True.
You know
I
what I
actually
mean?
have I have a couple thoughts on that. Um, but I want to save those for next week because I know we're going a lot more into D23, San Diego Comic Con, and just
Yeah.
all the future of MCU and stuff, as well as other things. So I'll save all those thoughts for next week for that.
Okay,
I want
that's fair.
to just kind of wrap up this brand new day conversation
Sure.
um,
Yeah.
before we get to our time. All in all,
Remember, we have
I
some stuff to
really
cut out, like the technical
oh yeah
difficulties, so we have a little
yeah
bit of
yeah
time.
yeah no absolutely. I just wanted this week to be focused on brand new day. Um, yeah, all in all, I thought it was a really good movie. Um, dare
I
I
agree.
say it might be in my top 3 Spider-Man movies, and it's definitely my number 1 live action Spider-Man movie as of right now.
Whoa, nice, nice.
Yeah.
So along with the Into and Across the Spider Verse,
Yep.
yeah, those are great movies, and they count as Spider-Man movies. But yeah, live action, it's definitely up there for me. I can't decide yet
I
on
put it
where.
over all of the home trilogy.
Yeah,
I
all
put it
of. Yeah, it does. It
yeah,
feels separate. If it feels very separate from those.
it does. It does. It's definitely above those 3. I'm wrestling with where TASM 1 stands compared to this movie because I really like TASM 1. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's so funny. I like TASM 2 better, and TASM 2 is one of the least rated Spider-Man movies.
I will say a lot of people that like the TASM movies, I usually feel like I see them rating TASM 2 higher than TASM 1.
Really, you do? I feel like it's the opposite for me.
I don't know. That's just what
I
I've
don't
seen.
know.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Anyways, yeah, my final thoughts. I also loved the movie. I felt like it was a very good Spider-Man story. It I gave it 4 stars, and I've given a lot of other Marvel projects 5 stars. So it's not. I don't think it's the best Marvel project. I don't even know if it's the best movie we got this year, because I've rated 2 movies came out this year higher than it. But as a Spider-Man fan, it was very good to see the character on the screen. Um, I think this might be my favorite live action Spider-Man. I think I'll say that for now. Um, I also think
Nice.
that they kind of just with everything in the multiverse and whatever, it was nice to step away from that.
I
Like
agree.
Jean Grey, how was she introduced as a character in the universe? She didn't come from.
Yes.
She didn't. They're setting up 616 X-Men. They're not bringing
Yeah.
the X-Men over, which I love. They're setting up.
Yeah.
Hey, X-Men are coming from this universe. It's new. They're all young. They're all new. The X-Men are here. They're not coming from Fox. So I
Yeah.
like that. I like that a lot. And I think
I
it's
I agree.
refreshing because I honestly didn't even think that they could do that, and I don't know why. It's a very simple thing to do.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. I am curious. So I just saw a post that Secret Wars is starting to film. I'm curious is this if as to if the first introduction of this new cast of X-Men that we have is going to be Secret War or it's going to be their film.
It's gonna be Secret War probably.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe
But
some
I'm
of them.
just yeah, I'm curious and I'm
Yeah,
excited to see.
I'm excited to see what they do with Secret War too. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
for sure. Um yeah, that's all I
All
have to
right.
say about the movie.
I think it was great. Yeah,
Yeah.
great movie. Great
Great
talk
movie.
about the movie.
Great talks.
We have a lot to look forward to as Marvel fans. I
Yes, sir.
I think Doomsday is really gonna tell the direction that Marvel's gonna go and whether or not people are gonna like it or not.
I agree with that. I think Doomsday dare I say is going to be the biggest Marvel project to date.
Do you think bigger than Endgame? I don't think it's bigger
Oh
than
yeah.
Endgame. I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
so. I don't think so.
Well, here's why, bro. Minus RDJ's Tony Stark and Black Widow, Wanda, and Vision. Minus those 4 people from from Endgame. Who are they not having in Avengers Doomsday?
Spider-Man.
Compare that to. We don't know that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, but again, compare that to. They're adding. We know for sure they're adding Namor. They're adding the Fantastic Four. They're adding. Who else did I just have on my mind there? They're adding. I mean, all the Fox X-Men. They're adding Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're adding Shang-Chi. They're probably going to have Ironheart in there. Like, they're adding all of these characters, and they got rid of 4. Granted, RDJ's Tony Stark was a big one. And same with...
Yeah, but I don't know.
Same with Black Widow. But they're adding all these characters. I think it's going to be the biggest project.
Biggest project as far as biggest cast and biggest
I don't just
production.
Mean by that, though.
But I think stakes wise, I think more people were invested in Endgame. I think Marvel's already lost a lot of people that aren't coming back.
Fair. That's fair. I think I will agree with you there. Stakes wise, there was higher stakes for Endgame.
I think more fans were interested in it. There are people that are just done with Marvel. I know because I was almost one of them, and I'm like still a contender for one of them.
Well, bro, there's not going to be much podcast if we cut out an entire genre.
I love. Okay, that might have been dramatic. I do love Marvel. I still love Marvel. I will always love Marvel. The MCU got me pretty close to leaving the fandom for a second of being MCU. I will always be a Marvel fan. I am still an MCU fan. They have been gaining my trust back.
Sure.
Let's see how they take care of us this year.
Okay, fair.
Yeah,
that's a fair response.
Yeah, I think that's a fair place to end it as well.
I think so as well. If you followed along for this much of the episode, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We're going to have all of our socials as well as our Discord link down below. Feel free to join. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share it to your friends.
Yeah, leave us a question.
Please, yeah. If there's anything you'd like to see us talk about, put it down below. Or hop into Discord. We have some discussion channels. We would really love to hear from you guys. But with that, we will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.